Right, on to our top story first. As we have been reporting in the last few days, Google is all set to invest a whopping $15 billion towards setting up a mammoth data center and AI hub in Andhra Pradesh. The deal inked between the company and the Andhra government in New Delhi today also marks Alphabet Inc.'s largest investment in India and its largest data center anywhere in the world. Google's data center campus, located in the port city of Visakhapatnam, is expected to be in the range of 1 gigawatt and comes with an expanded fiber optic network. Let's listen in some of the key voices from that event today.
So it's very important for all of us, especially the industry, to reskill and upskill our IT professionals in a major way. Not at a very small scale, but at a very, very, very major, rapid scale, at a totally different scale and at a totally different pace. I would request Google to help the IT industry in that. I was having a word with Mr. Korean before coming to this meeting here. AI skilling, reskilling for the IT professionals, please make it a major part of your entire agenda here. The second thing is about the undersea subsea cable. My request is that Andaman is a very strategic location. Singapore is today all choked. Why can't we make Andaman as the next big hub for global internet data transfer? We'll, from the Government of India's perspective, will provide full support for this.
Penetration and use of AI is very high in India. They are using AI, now we have to drive to take next level. With all our things, one is connectivity, digital connectivity. Second is data center and AI, real-time data collection. We are having ambitious plan of 15% growth rate. I am confident there will be a lot of changes, breakthrough changes in all walks of life, either health or agriculture or education or the way we are thinking, everything will change.
Data is the new oil and data centers are the new refineries. At this juncture, I believe it's not about Andhra Pradesh playing an important role in India, but India playing an important role on the global landscape. And this is what excites us. And this is why, the entire leadership is aligned in terms of executing this project at this scale. And as the HRD minister, now I think all the senior ministers have given me clear guidance that we have to skill up, we have to embrace AI, we have to look at revamping our curriculum, getting our youngsters ready for the next wave of opportunities.
Google launching its mammoth $15 billion project there in Visakhapatnam. Moving from Andhra to Karnataka now, it's an innovation that's probably more required in Bengaluru than most other Indian cities. An app that lets you check out live traffic signal countdowns 500 meters before you hit the signal itself. Mappls, that's the app developed by tech firm Map My India in collaboration with the Bengaluru City Police. It gives users a heads up about a traffic signal, countdowns and pothole alerts. And if you've lived or worked in Bengaluru, you probably know by now that these features are as invaluable as they could possibly get. So where does the piece of tech go from here? Could it be rolled out in other cities too? Earlier today, I spoke to Map My India's founder and chairman, Rakesh Verma, all about the innovation. And let's listen into what he said to me in that conversation.
Well, Mappls has been launched many years back. Probably it was not that well known the way it is now, the way the momentum has picked up in the last 1 week or so. About the Bengaluru traffic thing, what prompted us is we are always looking for some innovative features. When we launched a year and a half back, the feature called 3D Junction View, it got a huge attention and we got almost, if I say conservatively, over 20 million downloads. We were looking for some new feature again, some innovative feature again, and we felt nothing better than a traffic light to information to be given 500 meters before. Now, we are dependent on the traffic police of a city. Bengaluru Traffic Police Department extended their hands, and here we go. Now the entire platform is ready for handling such kind of a feature. Any city can adopt it. And we are ready to work with other cities, and we have already started receiving calls from many other cities to implement it in their city.
Right. So, Mr. Rakesh, how does it work? I understand there's a partnership with the Bengaluru City Police towards rolling this out. What's the app's working like? What's the technology involved in its workings?
Well, we are getting the data through the API of the traffic police. Once the API is coming to us, our platform and our Mapples app is picking it up and showing it on the map with the accuracy level that we have. So the technology is the fundamental technology of Mapples, which is the platform that we serve, whether it is a junction view, whether it is a traffic light, or whether it is a pothole, any kind of that. The platform is so good that it can handle and it can deal with the scale up that we are experiencing in the last 1 week in a big way.
Right, Mr. Rakesh, how many junctions does Mapples cover across Bengaluru? And are there plans to expand this network to other junctions and beyond Bengaluru to other cities as well?
As far as I recollect, it's 135 to 140 junctions that the traffic police is providing us the data with. There is an AI technology at the police side of the whole thing. Now, at the moment they start applying the same technology with the other traffic light junctions, we will just keep adding. It will be just nothing special for us. Even if it becomes 200, it will happen automatically. So count is dependent on the traffic police department. Other cities, as you asked, as I said before, a few cities I'm aware of who have requested that to implement the same, and we have started discussing with them. As soon as we are able to receive the APIs from them, we will go ahead and implement it right away.
Right. And sir, what's the pothole alert on Mapples all about, and how is it different from Aether also launching a similar piece of tech to detect potholes across Bengaluru?
Yeah, when you're talking about the potholes, yeah, we are aware Aether is our partner too, but it is not for our potholes is not restricted to Bengaluru. I think Delhi also has potholes. Mumbai also has potholes. We are nationwide. So I don't think there's much talk about the difference. It is the same pothole. How do you get the data? Ultimately, whether it is a junction view, traffic light junction, or your potholes, or your sharp curves, all these are primarily meant for saving the lives of the people. It's a safety feature, and very important as we all know, the number of deaths that take place, particularly with the two-wheeler drivers because of the pothole, is really very sad. So what we have done is not just talk about the pothole, we will be showing because the two-wheeler drivers are, literally they can't see a screen, because then that may make it also unsafe for them. So it is voice activated, and the second is also a small, I will say, arrow kind of a direction, which can be easily visible to a driver. So these are all the different technologies that's all integrated into Mapples app, and what is so special about Mapples.
And how significant is it, Mr. Rakesh, that a piece of homegrown tech is at the forefront of innovation in maps and mobility. This is a space that has traditionally been associated with global tech giants like Google. So how significant is it that Map My India has now come through with this innovation, launching a piece of what is truly a Swadeshi piece of technology?
It was launched before Google Maps came on board in India. The monopolistic approach of Google by hiding mappers behind their screen in the search and other places, and also forcibly preloading on the handsets was the cause of, or the reason why Mapples was not that well known, although it is used in the cars by the car OEMs or by the two-wheelers also. The current vision or direction from the Prime Minister coming down to the next level ministers about creating, moving towards Atmanirbhar, where the more the Swadeshi techs are developed, innovated, I think it will be, India, it doesn't lack all this. It's just the way how the big tech or the monopolistic approach of any of these companies is harming our country, whether from a national security or from a
Well, now I know what to use the next time I'm stuck in Bengaluru's traffic and I'm looking for a quick exit. But staying with Karnataka itself, Biocon founder Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw has raised the issue of Bengaluru's road infrastructure and waste disposal yet again. In a post on X, the billionaire Biocon boss said, and I quote, "I had an overseas visitor to Biocon Park who said, 'Why are the roads so bad and why is there so much garbage around? Doesn't the government want to support investment? I have just come from China and can't understand why India can't get its act together, especially when the winds are favorable,' end quote." Responding to Shaw's criticism, Karnataka's IT and Electronics Minister Priyank Kharge said he was unsure which part of Bengaluru Shaw's visitor witnessed, adding that the city was growing at a rapid pace and whatever was necessary for its improvement in infrastructure is being done. Meanwhile, another minister in the state, M.B. Patil, also cautioned against public criticism while development work was underway. Staying with Bengaluru now, the city-based drone and air logistics startup Airbound has announced a seed round of funding totaling to about $8.65 million. The round, led by physical intelligence co-founder Lockie Groom, has also seen participation from Hamba Ventures, Lightspeed Venture Partners, and senior leadership from Tesla and Ather Energy. Airbound also announced the start of a 3-year pilot with Narayana Health to explore drone deliveries of blood samples, medical supplies, and test kits to the healthcare major's centralized medical facility, Narayana Health City. Earlier today, I caught up with the startup's founder and CEO, Naman Pushp, to get the lowdown on the partnership, funding, and Airbound's production scale-up.
Narayana Health has pioneered a lot of low-cost healthcare through the process of centralization, right? They have a lot of really great facilities like Narayana Health City, where they're able to get, incredible automation, some incredibly powerful machines that allow them to provide high-quality, low-cost healthcare to everyone. I think Airbound fits in really well with this vision because one of the major challenges that, say, Narayana Health City faces is being in Bomasandra. You can't provide access to everyone with just one facility, right? A lot of people have to go there, and that makes it a suboptimal experience for customers. This also becomes a big challenge for people coming from outside the city or other areas where it's not economically viable to build the level of infrastructure that powers Narayana Health. With these drones, you gain the benefits of centralization because now we can have these drones move packages, move medicines, move blood samples from far away to Health City. And that just enables a lot, right? It allows Narayana to double down on their thesis of centralizing and automation and allows us to just bring the samples in.
Right. But take me to the contours of the partnership. What kind of volumes are you looking at in terms of orders? What are the numbers involved by way of how many samples will you transport? Restricted blood samples, other medical supplies. Take me to some of the key quantitative and qualitative aspects of the partnership itself.
No, absolutely. I think there's a lot of excitement, with Narayana on this. I think they see the vision that we have. And so they really want to move towards a world where Airbound is powering, pretty much all of their deliveries. This is, a pilot project. And so we are really just proving out the initial contours of the system.
Beyond Narayana itself, what's your order book looking like? Have you also spoken to other partners, other segments beyond healthcare that you are also hoping to get involved in and carry out deliveries? What's that pipeline and that order book looking like?
Absolutely. I think healthcare is the right place to start with drone deliveries. But at the end of the day, our vision is to make drone deliveries viable everywhere, right? It's not that, hey, this only works for really critical, healthcare deliveries where people can afford to pay a few ₹1,000s for it. Right. Or it's not like this is needed in, super out-of-the-way areas with zero infrastructure, where, roads don't really work. The idea is that this should work even in the most ideal cases, even in the most advantageous environment for roads and traditional delivery. Right. So naturally, the question is, why limit yourself to healthcare, right? We want to, it's kind of like you wouldn't ask Yulu about are their bikes going to be used for healthcare deliveries, for like food deliveries. It can deliver anything. It's a bike, right?
So which segments do you have right at the top of your mind?
So I think a couple of segments that, we care about. Obviously, we're looking at, quick commerce, food delivery, a few layers of e-commerce, at least whatever we can do with our payload. There's a few interesting segments opening up, when it comes to fashion deliveries, and a lot of, I think, new kinds of deliveries that we can enable when the cost of delivery is very low and the speed of delivery is very high.
As things stand, what does the horizon look like when it comes to beyond visual line of sight operations of drones itself?
The regulations have been worked on for quite a while. We've been involved in a lot of these drafts. We are hopeful that we'll start to see a draft bill come out by the end of this year. But unfortunately, with these timelines, you can never say for certain.
Right. I want to bring you up on another thing you just mentioned, that beyond regulations itself, costing is a massive challenge. Now, a number of players in the space have spoken about it in the past. You have as well, talking about how costs can, to an extent, be controlled by building lighter planes and by ensuring that, minimal input goes by way of carrying these operations in the cost front by a function of its mass and weight. Is that something that you are working on? And if yes, to what extent or to what function can your cost factor be brought down?
Oh, you would be surprised the amount of improvement you can have, right? I think a good way to think about this is there's been a lot of studies on the cost of EVs when you're moving around. I think generally numbers put it at between 1.5 to 2.5 rupees per kilometer, right? So you can essentially think about this as the cost to move 150 kgs of mass from point A to B with current technology is about 2 rupees per kilometer. Now, we don't need 150 kgs. In fact, our whole system can be sub 5 kgs. And so the end state that we see for this is you're reducing mass by 30x. Our math says that with a 30x reduction in mass, you can get a 20x reduction in cost. Right. And that's where we're able to see a future where the cost of delivery comes down to just 10 paise per kilometer. That's how we can enable a world of 1 rupee deliveries.
And interestingly enough, even as you announce this round of funding itself, how much of a runway do you have with these funds before you choose to go for your Series A round? What are those timelines looking like?
I think the interesting thing when it comes to hardware is that runway is really a function of ramp up, right? And I think this is where, because we have strong momentum on our sides, we're really looking forward to raising a Series A fairly soon.
Well, I look forward to a day when I get my food delivered from a drone. But moving on from Karnataka to Kerala now. Kerala's Finance Minister K.N. Balagopal has warned that the state could squander its Virinjam port advantage if over 10,000 acres of nearby plantation land continues to lie unused. The state has already poured in nearly 8,000 crore rupees towards setting up infrastructure into the port that is built to handle ships of up to 3.5 lakh tons. However, the minister claimed that without unlocking surrounding estates for logistics and industry, Kerala risks missing the full potential of this mega investment. Remember, it's been less than 9 months since operations began at Virinjam, but the port has already handled over 1 million containers and nearly 460 vessels, several of whom are ultra-large ships, proof of its natural deep water potential. But experts have maintained that unless adjoining land is freed up for support infrastructure like warehousing and connectivity, rival ports could in fact seize the momentum. Moving to Tamil Nadu now, Tamil Nadu could ease out several state acts in order to lessen or ease in the legal burden on businesses by decriminalizing offences under 48 state acts, especially those offences surrounding businesses. In fact, the move is aimed at converting some of these acts that were earlier punishable by fines or imprisonment into civil violations. The reforms aim to remove minor procedural offences from the criminal justice system, replacing them instead with in-house adjudication and monetary penalties. The move is part of the state's push to align with nationwide ease of doing business reforms. The objective, of course, is predictable compliance costs for small businesses, faster dispute resolution, and less pressure on courts, all in the attempt to boost entrepreneurship and industry from the state. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of South Central. While it's goodbye for the moment, though, I'll be back tomorrow with more news and updates from South India. So keep watching ET Now.